welcome to the Australian Grand Prix here at Surfers Paradise. I am here with Vince Friese, my qualifying broadcast partner, and DJ Curtis. They both have namesakes in this race. So how are you two doing?
Pretty good, Kenny. Looking forward to the race.
DJ?
Yeah, I'd say the same. Myself, Ferrari, we're going to see what we can do here. Have some good old fun.
What are some of the big challenges you're seeing going forward with this race, knowing that the track is very narrow and hard to pass?
Well, looking at the first turn, that first turn complex, it looks like someone who leads into turn one most of the time can hold it with a pit strategy. So you got to look at the S-bend. We also look at the other S-bend down towards the end of the circle where people begin to four wheels off. Could be a wild start.
Very well could be.
Sorry about that, but with it being such a narrow racetrack, definitely track position is going to be key, and maybe some pit strategy, if things go in the right direction, could really help a lot of drivers. Really, I hope for myself as well, but a lot of drivers starting in the back are going to hopefully try and make their way towards the front. Hopefully we get some exciting action here at this narrow racetrack known as Surfers Paradise.
What do you think the percentage of a safety car in this race is going to be?
After turn one, lap one, probably high. I would say 100% if we really get crazy bonking. We have a mixed grid, too. We have people like Rosselli, the Saubers up there. It could be interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Rosselli right here. You can't see it behind the pine tree. There we go. But Servino Rosselli doing a great job qualifying that far up the order. His teammate, Jesse Turner, is all the way down in, I believe, 17th or 18th, is that? I believe 17th or 18th there. There's another Benetton on the inside, the leading Benetton. That's of Nathan Ormond. Daniel Adventure, as we know, that's a racing pseudonym for the Polish driver. And let's actually take a look at your starting grid here as we go to the back of the grid, starting with the Arrows Asia Tech of David Tolfe. We know that he made it in by 1/10 in the 105% rule. Tolfe did not do very well there. And then alongside of him is the other Asia Tech powered car of Sebastian Ebner from Austria. What do you think the big strategy is for the back row here, DJ?
In terms of the back row, definitely is just keeping your P's and Q's. You definitely don't want to get some damage early on, especially with it being a standing start. And we want to see how it goes, but mostly just avoid lap one calamity, to say the least, really. Just to avoid get damage early on, and just really mind your P's and Q's, take your time, manage tires, and have some good pit strategy.
Sean Ard and Alex Tanker are the next two cars on the grid. Sean Ard had a very disappointing qualifying session. Vince Friese, you're very close with Benetton. What are you thinking right now about that? Or what are they saying about that?
Yeah, Ard, he definitely didn't have the Q setup. We're looking for a long race pace setup. Definitely, as DJ said, pit strategy is going to be key. Maybe an undercut from the pit strategists up the top of the box. We'll see if we can get a good start, 4 or 5 positions, and we'll work our way to the front.
And now we have Otts and Behringer on the next row on the grid. Both drivers didn't qualify very well for them there, but I got to give credit to Ivan Stark there in the Minardi, qualifying in front of a lot of cars that are faster than him. Any comments on Ivan Stark from Great Britain?
Yeah, I think Stark, he can definitely play a vital role at the start. I think teams like that, you try to get a good start. You look, you stay like 15th, 16th, bring it home, mind your P's and Q's. It's a good result at the end of the day for a team like that. Get some momentum before the upgrades start coming into play soon, around 4 for most teams.
And then alongside of him is Julius Anderson in the Toyota, that's a brand new team, and they're actually surprised that they got a car into Q2 with their teammate being further up the grid. We have Willington was the last car there in Q1 eliminated, along with Daniel Bouchard. Then you have Pat Mikola and Daniel Adventure with Jesse Turner and Nathan Ormond, with Samet Ozkin alongside of Jack Halleck, one of the Australians on the grid. Of course, Minardi and Arrows both have Australian connections, with Paul Stoddard being from Australia and Tom Walkinshaw being from Australia, the team principals of those two teams. Kenny Myatt, disappointing qualifying run considering his rookie teammates high up the grid. DJ Curtis, can't be happy with that, DJ, starting way back in middle of Q2.
Yeah, certainly not the most pleased, but not really too upset. Sometimes, you might not have the best Q day, so
we know that
best off to have it bad now than to have it much later, but we'll see what we can do. Ferrari's got a lot of good horsepower underneath those motors for a reason. That strategy's going to have to be huge for us.
And as you know, this isn't a very big horsepower track. Next row up the grid, we have Casperson and Ace Vito. The last car eliminated in Q2 was Ace Vito. Again, another Ferrari not doing well here. Then you have Rosselli and Freeze on the grid. Vince, how do you feel about starting in Q? That would be 9th position.
Looking pretty confident right now. I got my teammate Fitzwater, the hometown crowd with him in P5. Just going to play the same role, see if we can get a little strategy going, and maybe get a couple. We're all on the clean side of the grid, too. That's important, especially at the start.
Then there's Salameo here, who got a 5 grid spot penalty for an incident with Max Anderson on the in Q1. He also got a penalty point for that. If you get 10 penalty points, he's suspended. This is early to be getting penalty points, don't you think?
Yeah, you don't want to accumulate that, especially after round 1. You get 1. If you get like 5 by round 8, you're in some trouble. So you got to be careful with the penalty points moving forward, especially in qualifying trip.
Darren Blake alongside of him. We were really impressed by Darren Blake's qualifying there. Zachary Fitzwater and Evan Byrne, the Stark driver, getting up in 6th position there, in a Jordan in front of a lot of cars that are faster than him. Evan Byrne, great job there. And now we're on to the final 4 positions with Hashimoto, who's been the fastest car all weekend with the exception of Q3. Max Anderson, who was in the accident with Salameo. Anderson got out okay when Salameo kind of did a crazy dive bomb and hit the inside wall entering the final complex of corners. And then it's an all-McLaren front row with Casey Nanako from Japan and Jack Marriott from Great Britain on pole. Before we begin this race, who are your favorites to win this race right now?
I'm going to go with Hashimoto. He looks like he's the quickest all weekend, but I wouldn't be surprised if Anderson, he plays a role. And I'm also going to give, Fitzwater. I mean, this is his home race. I just don't see him laying over. He could be a shock, especially at the start if he gets good track position and plays at least within the top 3 by lap 30.
DJ, you got any advice? Or you got any predictions?
I would definitely say it's definitely around more or less the top 5. It's very much a track position-oriented racetrack, so I would say Katsune Hashimoto definitely has a good shot. Usually the second row can be pretty good if you get a good start. And then Zachary Fitzwater, as Freeze mentioned, hometown. I kind of, in the same boat, kind of took the picks for me, but those are really the 2 I would say look out for, besides also the pole sitter, Marriott.
All right. Before we go down to the race, there is one last thing I forgot to mention. What are your keys to this race other than track position, which we've said a lot?
Good start. I think the start's going to be huge because, we could get a safety car. So if we do get a restart, definitely got to make sure your tires are warmed up. I think tire deck is going to come into play, Kenny. I really do. I think the long run pace is going to be key. Which teams in practice ran a long run pace will be also key. I look at the McLarens. Can they withstand that? Or will people like Anderson with the chassis, that high downforce package, and Hashimoto take over with the Merc? Could be a very Mercedes RBR-S duel. We'll see if that comes down to play.
DJ, you got anything?
I would say, again, just keeping it mostly clean. Tire degradation is definitely huge, especially if you have a good long-run pace, and also just really adapting to strategy when it comes to safety cars, virtual safety cars, or really just some kind of infractions like lap cars getting in the way, because sometimes the lappers will ignore blue flags, so imagine having to get around those drivers and having to just find different various strategies or ways to get yourself forwards.
And with that being said, let's go down to the race. And the lights are on! 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights! And it's go, go, go! Here we go, down into turn 1. There goes the 2 McLarens. Looks like the Red Bull back there of Anderson got a great start down into turn 1. They're not maybe going to get the pole sitter there. It looks like Nanako got a better start than Marriott did. Oh, Marriott cut the corner, I think, there, but didn't get away there. Did everybody get through cleanly? It looks like everybody did. Clean start by everybody there. What do you guys think so far?
Pretty clean start. Looks like everyone's orderly in line for the most part. We'll see what happens. Oh, Anderson going for second.
Anderson does get second. Oh, maybe not, though.
Ooh, hit that chicane not too well.
Great start by... That's actually Rosselli got by Salameo there. So good start by him. And we are... Oh, we actually had a car stall on the grid, it looks like. That's Nathan Ormond. We're going to take a look at that in a minute here. As, wow, that was a good start, I think, by Rosselli there. And it's a McLaren 1-2 at the front of the field with Nanako taking the lead over Jack Marriott there. And so far, so good. That's actually Evan Byrne got a good start there, too. I think he's up to 4th. Yes,
Great
Evan
effort.
Byrne to 4th position from 6th on the grid. And it's a good start. No safety cars so far there. Ace Vito, the Ferraris lost spots there on their start. Both Ferraris lost 2 spots there. So here we go. Ivan Stark. Oh, we might have a safety car somewhere. There was a slowdown. That might have been from Ormond breaking down, though. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Nathan Ormond here. And we're going to want to take a look at that start again. The cameras down there aren't exactly the best to tell what's going on here. And let's see if either of you guys can see what happened with Ormond here. Oh, yeah. What do you think just happened here?
Lost power, definitely.
Yeah.
Turbo failed. Turbocharge failed.
That's
Something
what I'm
with the
guessing, and that's
demos.
why the
Oh,
Stalled the field.
that was. And luckily, they pushed that car off to the side of the road, and then the other cars got around. So thankfully for him, as we get going here, there's Nanico and Marriott. They're still leading over Max Anderson and Evan Byrne. Hashimoto. I can't believe Byrne got by Hashimoto there on the start. So
Definitely not the best start by Hashimoto, and that's really the consequences of not having a good start, is that you lose so much valuable time and track position, and you just have to work your way up yet again if you want to get back up there.
yeah, we're on board with Luca Salameo here. Had that 5 grid spot penalty, was the 2nd place starting car, down to 9th now, behind Servino Rosselli. Servino Rosselli there, and Rosselli had a very good start by Rosselli there as we go through this chicane complex here. And you can see this track is a very technical one for drivers to get their handle on, so yeah, so far so good on this start of the race here. As looks like, oh, Alex Tanker and Ebner. Tolfe actually got by a couple of them. Oh, Behringer. Remember, Behringer didn't qualify well and has even lost positions even further there. What if
well,
you're?
you got to remember those guys were all held up at the start too.
They were held up. Yes, they were. Willington also there. Ard has actually gained the most spots, I think, so far in this race. He's from 28th to 24th. Snow, actually, it's Ivan Stark up in 20th in a Minardi. Oh, one of the Ferraris is on pit road. That's Grayson Ace Vito with a problem, I believe, here. Let's take a look and see if was there any sight of a mechanical problem on track with Grayson Ace Vito.
Yeah.
There is, he was just slow through the corner there. And what is Ace Vito going to do here? Is there an issue with that car, or are they just pitting early?
Well,
Oh, no, it was a stop-go penalty.
Stop-go
Penalty. Something with Grayson Ace Vito there. I'm not exactly sure what it was.
Exceeded the track limits. That might be why.
Yeah, they've been very picky with track limits around this track. So, oh, they did get Ormond back running again. I'm not sure what for. Obviously, the top 10 are what get points, so they're expecting a high attrition race with Ormond. But as the field goes around this 1.8-mile road course here, you've got Nanico and Marriott leading the race as a McLaren 1-2 at the front of the field, with Max Anderson in 3rd, with Evan Byrne in 4th, Hashimoto 5th, Darren Blake up to 6th, Zachary Fitzwater to 7th, Rosselli 8th, Salameo 9th, and Salameo is closing in on Rosselli, and that's Casperson in 10th. So out of that group in the top 10, who are you the most surprised by so far with their start?
It's got to be Byrne. I mean, he not only beat Hashimoto at the start, but he's keeping that long race pace up. So his times are pretty consistent for a top 5 car.
DJs?
Oh yeah, most certainly. Very impressive in the Jordan.
What about Rosselli, though? His teammate Jesse Turner is all the way down in 16th position, so what about Rosselli up in 8th?
Yeah, he's outshining Jesse Turner. I think that was an interesting team battle at Renault. I think there's really no 1 or 2 driver, but this race could determine that. So Rosselli, proving his worth, had a good qualifying run. Outdoing the car, as they say.
Yeah.
We got Fitzwater closing in on Blake as well here. That's the closest battle so far in the top 10, I believe, right now as we go up through the order here. Yeah, the leaders are kind of streaking away at the front of the field here. Going back a little further, Salameo's catching Rosselli, and Casperson's also there. We're looking for a closer battle. Here's Ozkin got by Curtis. That's a big move there, although, like we said, Ferrari isn't exactly the strongest car around this Surfers Paradise circuit. They'll be much better when we get to Pukekohe next week.
Is that chassis kicking in? It's a very technical track, like you pointed out. So a lot of low-speed corners. So it might be more of a Red Bull kind of racetrack, a little bit advantageous for them, despite Oskin's, I would say, a little bit mediocre run to say the least. But even so, he's kind of getting his way upwards towards the pack.
And like
also McLaren too. McLaren looking very strong early.
McLaren very strong early, and they've probably got the best overall package other than maybe the Mercedes cars, because their cars seem to be ones that are, ooh, something wrong with Hashimoto there? Hashimoto was very close to the wall there in the 15 car. Kitsune Hashimoto went wide in that corner there, but overall, the most balanced cars on the entire grid have got to be the McLarens and the Mercedes cars. Oh, Hashimoto was taking some very... Oh, Evan Byrne coming in.
Burning the pits.
I'm wondering if there's going to be some interesting pit strategy as this race keeps going here, or is this an unscheduled stop for Evan Byrne?
The real question is how many stops do you expect for this whole run?
That's a good question, because we haven't really seen a full fuel run out of these cars yet. Because obviously, unlike some other open-wheel series, refueling is allowed in this series. But here's Grayson Ace Vito now. He was, of course, the first car to pit other than the Ormond car who broke down. And Grayson Ace Vito now is going to be fighting with Evan Byrne, I believe.
Ace Vito's lap times are pretty consistent, I think.
And Evan Byrne is actually... Evan Byrne was Ace Vito was a stop-go penalty. Evan Byrne actually got tires, so this could be a very interesting short pitting strategy. As it looks like...
to see the lap times as well, to see how much grip those Pirelli tires have.
And actually, here we go. The top three are right near each other here. Now, do you think they're gonna start seeing some aero push around here?
I think so.
Yeah, definitely in the first S-bends. I think that could be key. I think tire wear is starting to play, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. It could be starting to come into play right now. Who saved their tires?
Yeah, and right now you've got Marriott and Anderson right up with Nanako here, the Japanese driver. We're going to take a quick commercial break here, and we'll be back in a little bit. Welcome back to Surfers Paradise. It is lap 11 of 82 now, and this has been a very close battle here at the front of the field as the pack is closing in here. Oh, Marriott over the curbs there. Actually, I think, oh, contact there with the wall with Marriott there. That's what Salameo did earlier. And on the outside, Marriott makes the move for the lead.
Well,
just clip that wall.
What a move by Marriott to take over the lead from his teammate, Casey Nanako, the only female on the grid. How do you rate that move, DJ?
Very gutsy pass late on the brakes there. He actually looked like he tapped the wall a little bit off the corner. Really,
kind of like what Oh, looks like Nanako might be pitting. Yeah, Nanako's coming in. Wonder what's wrong with...
Nanako was holding up the field and noticed that bottleneck effect, really, when it allowed the other two cars to really close in. I think it's really... The strategy call from McLaren might have kicked in that time around to see if they can try and get the undercut.
Oh, we got Freeze on the inside of Casperson. And
good overtake right there.
That was a great overtake. Great overtake on the outside of that S-bend there. So, oh, wow, look at Halleck!
Look at him.
Look at Halleck on the outside. Great move by Halleck. Gonna try and go after Myatt there.
Took advantage of the checkup right
DJ
in front of him.
Curtis was trying to
do the same thing.
Curtis and Ozkin are going for it, and this is into the chicane complex here. There's... Wow, Halleck is on a move! And Curtis makes a move on Ozkin!
Got over the curbs there.
Great move down there. And there's Darren Blake there as well, so... Now we've got Jack Marriott, Max Anderson, Hashimoto, Fitzwater, Blake, Rosselli, Salameo, Freeze, Casperson, Halleck, and Myatt are your top 11, I think I counted there. Oh, I think we've got... Oh, I thought Marriott might have been pitting, but negative there.
Hashimoto's looking, I think, for a moment. That didn't look like that anymore.
So we're seeing a lot of different pit strategies so far in this race, so... Oh, boy. Well, now you're actually seeing the field start spreading out a little bit here, as I think Blake is holding up Rosselli, it looks like, and the back...
Blake's holding up a lot of people.
It's a big train.
I'm interested to see what Evan Byrne's doing here, because Evan Byrne has caught Grayson Ace Vito, who had a stop-and-go penalty, and Byrne's on a different pit strategy than everybody else. Could Byrne end up like getting a podium like run after the pit stop cycle? That is a battle for position, because
matter
he's
of
on a
hand with that is how they can get around the traffic really in front of them, because that's what's going to hold them up really a lot. You see the arrows right in front of the Jordan, and so he has to get around them ASAP.
yeah.
Okay, this is what we were talking about earlier about the arrow push. I mean, he's gotten that dirty air all over. If he doesn't get past him, that could definitely hurt the tire degradation faster compared to the leaders out front.
And we still have a large train here behind. I believe that is Darren Blake here. Everybody on back is held up there. Where is Nanico on track right now is a good question to be asking. Nanico is in 27th in front of... Nanico is actually behind Evan Byrne. So Evan Byrne provisionally might be the leader after this. The way I'm looking at it, or actually Ace Vito might be, but remember that was a stop. No, but that was a stop and go penalty, so he's going to have to pit again.
Depends on what they do. Really, Ferrari keeps it on those older tires.
Where's Nanico? Where's Nanico after
Nanico's behind Byrne by quite a large margin here. As here goes Byrne on the outside of that would be Tolfe. And
the undercut might work.
That undercut probably is going to work for Byrne here. That might have been a masterful strategy call here by Eddie Jordan's team to get Evan Byrne in a better position. We're going to skip ahead to live coverage. This was all in replay, actually. We had a car in the wall, I believe, down there, and that might be our first safety car. That is one of the Ferraris. That's Grayson Ace Vito. We're going to take a look here. Yes, there was an accident down here. He just lost
too late
it.
on the brakes.
And
yeah,
they are not going to throw the safety car. We're going into VSC for that, virtual safety car.
And he's out of the racing groove, so he's fine. Completely fine.
Got the crane down there. The crane down there will take
And that's just him losing it down there.
Way too hard.
Way too hard into that corner. We're going to go on board his helmet cam. All drivers have a helmet cam in this series, so we're on board with Ace Vito. And was there a mechanical problem, you think, or was this just Ace Vito going in way too hard here?
Driver error.
He overcooked the turn. He knew he couldn't make it. He had one chance.
On the brakes. I'd say he got on the brakes a little bit too late, and that just overcooked it into the tire barrier.
And so Grayson Ace Vito is well enough off the track that they won't need a safety car, but virtual safety car is now over, by the way. It was only for a little bit of time there. So we're back to live coverage once again here. We're not sure if Ace Vito is going to stay in this race or not. He might come back out like Ormond did.
Damage.
A lot of rear wing damage too, because he also put the rear wing into the wall as well.
Fitzwater got by Blake, and then Blake is still holding up everybody.
I gotta give Saravino Rosselli props here. 6th place in a Renault.
Outperforming turn by a long shot for sure. Turns.
Here comes Ozkin on Curtis again. This has been a really good battle at the front of this field, or at the middle part of this field, between two drivers who could be championship contenders. And
Ozkin on the outside.
Ooh, Ozkin! That was close. Curtis had to back off on that one. Let's go on board with DJ Curtis from that, the reigning champion of Formula Omega. Driving car number 1. We're going to go on board here, and you're just going to see Curtis.
Had to back off. Ozkin was on the outside.
Ozkin was very aggressive there. The Swede was very aggressive and made that move
Curtis
work.
Was a bit gracious too.
Yeah. You gotta be in that situation. That's a champion move there by the reigning champ. As we are back to live coverage now. So Ace Vito is still in the pits, but they are bringing him back out. So there isn't a ton of damage here. These are more durable.
The front wing and the rear wing, so it looks like they're going to be out there. But it looks like points won't be an option for them tonight, unfortunately.
It's been a bad weekend for Grayson Ace Vito. Didn't even make Q3. Nowhere near anything at the front.
You saw him kind of look a little bit there.
I think they're all just kind of getting sick of Darren Blake. Oh, we got a car blown up. That's Daniel Adventures Toyota.
The adventure's over for Adventure as he gets down the back here. Looks like he needs to pull off. That could be a safety with the oil.
A lot of fluid on the track, though. Look at it.
That is a lot of fluid. Are we going to go VSC again? We are just throwing out local yellows. They're just throwing out locals, it looks like. No VSCs, I believe. The race director here, has been very open about not throwing safety cars if need be, because safety cars do take quite a bit of effort here. As here comes Daniel Adventure back into the pits here. That's game over for the Toyota. tough break for him is we are going to take another commercial break here because we have to get our commercial time in. Welcome back to Surfers Paradise here, and we had another little incident here with Max Anderson and Evan Byrne. This was a battle for position. Both these cars had pitted. As you can see, Byrne got into the wall there. What kind of damage is that going to do to a car out there?
It's going to hurt the downforce, I think, especially. When you hit the wall at this track, the walls are unforgiving. Not only the downforce and the rear suspension, but it's also going to hurt your tire degradation, especially Byrne, who pitted really early.
What about suspension,
might bring along
DJ?
a puncture. Might bring along a puncture too with that damage he hit. Slapped it really hard. So as you mentioned, suspension damage is going to be hurt. It's also going to hurt the floor actually of that Jordan.
Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Jack Marriott has been held up in heavy lap traffic here behind two Asia Tech powered cars of, I believe that's Tanker and Ebner there. Jack Marriott has been caught by Hashimoto, and then 7 seconds back originally was Fitzwater. Fitzwater is really closing in now, and there's a long way back to 4th place. Got to give it up for Servino Rosselli there in 4th position, holding off Luca Salameo. And then I think the biggest one here is 10th position. Ivan Stark in a Minardi right now. What do you got to say about that? A Minardi in 10th.
Great stuff from the Minardi indeed, especially if you consider the equipment that Stark is in at the moment. Minardi definitely one of the fan favorite teams, but certainly not the best performing team on the grid, but impressive stuff here, especially in a points paying position.
Give their team hope too for their upgrades. Their upgrade season's coming soon. Get a run like this, get them solid, in the points taste. Could really be a momentum builder.
And actually now you've got the first of the pitting cars, Casey Nanico now, catching the back end of the last cars that still have not pitted. So Ard, Stark. You've also got, actually both the Renaults are in the points right now too, with Jesse Turner in the points as well right now. That's Joaquim Kasperson in the points as well. DJ Curtis is back up into the points now finally.
Took him a little bit.
Sam and Ozkin's up there. Salameo's been trying everything on Rosselli, and I think Rosselli might get... We got the driver of the day poll going right now, and Rosselli could be a driver fighting for that, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
Rosselli or Stark, easy.
Rosselli or Stark, for that matter. We know Sam at Ozkin, though, tends to always take driver of the day, no matter where he finishes. Oh, that's Jack
Iron
Marriott,
Legion.
the leader, has already pitted here, so that actually is going to bump Hashimoto to the lead of the race, with Fitzwater getting by Blake. So Fitzwater, oh, here comes Hashimoto and Fitzwater in
Clipped the
together.
wall.
So
I
now,
thought the Mercedes clipped the wall there. You
They
saw some debris
did.
kind of flying off.
Or debris, because he's in debris.
so where is
Watch that.
Marriott in comparison to Nanico? I do not know. Where is... I am kind of lost right now.
Yeah, the pit cycle can be
Marriott
quite
is in
confusing.
front of Nanico. So Marriott is in front of Nanico. And now we have to see where race leader Hashimoto and Fitzwater are going to come out. They're both coming in.
Oh,
We're going to see who the fastest crew is. Who do you think is going to be the fastest crew?
Going Hashimoto.
Also, I believe
Hashimoto.
Byrne is in the back as well.
Now, it depends on the damage, too, by Hashimoto. If they have to repair that damage, it might cost him a lot of time, because watch Fitzwater Williams. is
Oh,
doing
there's
pretty
going to be an
good with that.
arrows in front of him here as they're filling up the car. There goes Hashimoto out of the pits. Where is Marriott? The
Might just go a
overcut
bit way
seemed
back.
to work.
He's
Na-
way far back.
No, I don't know. Where is Marriott? Marriott. Oh,
There's-
crash!
no.
Crash! Both of them wrecked!
Both of them.
Both of them wrecked! Oh,
And there's
no!
McLaren.
That is actually going to put Fitzwater in the lead of the race. We're going to have to go back and take a look and see what happened.
The McLaren, I think, is not too far behind him just because of that wreck.
Oh, no, it was actually just Hashimoto just lost it looked like.
Hit the curb.
Yeah,
Definitely
hit the
lost some
curb.
traction.
Yeah,
Hit
oh
the
my
curb.
goodness, that was way over the top by Hashimoto there.
I think Fitzwater just just on the
Good
brakes
move
there.
by Fitzwater to slam on the brakes like
No
that.
damage done for both of them. Surprise! Look at the McLaren.
And then the
See
McLaren
what-
right here of Marriott here. So the top three are all together. And what's going to happen if Zachary Fitzwater wins his home Grand Prix? Oh boy.
Fitzwater wins is going to be a party tonight.
Let's go to the live coverage. Oh, crash in front! That is probably
And he
going to
got
be a safe.
Hashimoto.
That is
Oh,
going to be
yeah,
a
bad
safety
thing.
car right there. No, it's not. They're driving it away.
Yeah, but look at the stack up just because of it. It's allowed Nanako to
Anderson
close in on
coming in.
Hashimoto.
Marriott now into second officially now.
Fitzwater's
With
loving this.
damage. It's got damage.
Oh, Hashimoto's in big trouble here.
Front wings messed up.
Big trouble here for
Look at that
Hashimoto
front
there.
wing bent up.
Oh, Hashimoto had the lead for a little bit there, and then, well,
Just a double whammy. Just
Let's-
one bad mistake and then just a wreck on really out of his control.
let's take a look and see what happened this time here. Is there going to be a steward's inquiry on this one? Oh, again, it was another car coming out of the pits that overcooked it. This was actually Behringer this time.
Hit the curb, I think. Yep, hit
The
the
same
curb.
mistake as Hashimoto.
And Hashimoto paid the price for it, and that's where Marriott
got
got a bit of damage. And now Behringer's
That is what
teammate
he is.
Willington got into it as well, Archie Willington. So, very rough start here, and I believe that's going to desperately hurt Hashimoto here. As, yes, Hashimoto's coming back in, as is Nanako for that matter.
Yeah,
Nanak-
Nanako did hit the I believe he hit that Mercedes pretty hard too.
Where is the Marriott car? Marriott's in too, so both the McLarens are in. You know who this is actually helping is Zachary Fitzwater.
Fitzwater's
Even though
loving
he's
this
not
in the
Fitzwater
technically-
didn't get damage from the
Actually,
Hashimoto wreck, you know.
Salameo is still in the lead, but he hasn't pitted yet.
Yep.
Zachary Fitzwater, the Australian, is in the lead of this race.
In a Williams
in a
too. Raced up
Williams.
from them.
Max Anderson's in second. Darren Blake, I think, is going in the Sauber is going to be up to third, with Vince Freeze in fourth.
Great run for Williams. Great one.
Could help them in constructors quite a lot here with all these big teams really struggling early on. This is going to be a big jump for them.
Jack Marriott now is in fourth despite getting damage, or, well, actually, no, probably not because of the, we have to wait for the positions to recycle. It is kind of crazy after the pit stop cycle. There goes
It's
Hashimoto
Hashimoto.
and Nanako out of the pits there.
See if they overcook it.
Salameo's in the pits.
Yeah.
Here they go. There's Byrne.
Byrne.
There's the
Again.
Jordan coming in.
Anderson right
Anderson's
there.
Just fine. Clean air. Got some
Clean air there.
from racetrack.
Byrne now. Oh, those Jordans had a good... Byrne had such a great start to his weekend, and then it just kind of capitulated right in front of him. Let's take a look. What is Hashimoto up to? Oh, Hashimoto's got an engine!
That's day done for Hashimoto.
That's
Mercedes.
Hashimoto done, yeah, right there.
So many things happening. Like,
Oh
for
my
Hashimoto.
goodness.
Everything going wrong.
A lot of oil coming out more than Adventure.
Mercedes.
That's a big grenade.
Mercedes is done. Absolutely done. There's Nanako there. And Fitzwater has got to be loving this. His entire competition just kind of imploded right around him, basically.
Could be easy cruise unless something bad happens to that Australian.
I think actually Anderson caught the wall there on the inside there, but here goes Fitzwater. Where's Salameo in all of this? Did Salameo get out in front of him?
The
Yeah,
biggest
Oh, I thought there was a slowdown there. My fault there. Fitzwater is in the lead with second position being obviously the McLaren of Nanako is in down the order a bit there. And that's actually going to put Anderson in P2 and Darren Blake in the Sauber in P3.
And look who's right behind
Vince
him.
Freeze.
and the
This is
other
a
Williams.
good day for Williams today. This was not what we were expecting.
Could make a podium if Freeze can get around the Sauber, but the Sauber's done a great job, Darren Blake. You got to give some effort to him.
Fifth is right now Salameo. Sixth is Rosselli. Seventh is Halleck. Eighth is DJ Curtis, who's made a great recovery drive. Ninth is Turner, and 10th is Ozkin.
How about Halleck, man? Two Australians in the top 10.
Good day for the Australians, yeah.
Head of the Ferrari, too.
And a Ferrari, yeah.
So let's take another look down here. There's Ozkin in 10th. 11th is Joachim Kasperson. 12th is Marriott, despite being a lap down, or despite
Sean Ard.
wrecking. Arden 13th. 14th is Ivan Stark. A little bit more chaos there, and Stark will be in the points. We're going to have to go to a commercial break here, but we'll be back again shortly. Battle for second place heating up here as Darren Blake blasts by Max Anderson here. Darren Blake has a fantastic run going for him in a Sauber. Did anybody predict a Sauber possibly fighting for a podium in this race? Any of you guys?
I would say
No,
it was possible, knowing the Darren Blake strategy call. Really, the Sauber team is just pulling off great strategy overall from Darren Blake. Sure, he held up the field at one point, but look at him now, running up in the second spot. The Red Bull made a mistake, and he took advantage of it.
gotta watch that Red Bull too. He might have some aero push come. Oh, we got another car.
Ebner in the pits there. Oh, this was Casperson coming in, and we also had Vince Freeze coming in. Rosselli's back up to 4th with Salameo behind him. So DJ Curtis up into 8th again. We were kind of looking at that. Quiet run climbing up through the field here.
Curtis always being consistent. Good range, yeah.
Of course, this entire pack is being held up by a very slow lap car who is ignoring blue flags, being front of our odds.
On that front stretch.
Rosselli going on the outside here.
Gutsy call. Does he make it?
Gutsy move here. Oh, contact!
Oh!
And
that might be a warning.
let's go back and see. No, but did Rosselli cut the course?
He might have gotten pushed off the track, actually.
Yeah, it might be.
Oh, yeah, that was definite contact there.
Ignoring blue flags. That's
and actually, he lost a position in that process, so I'm guessing that's not going to be a problem there.
He got forced off that racetrack just like that.
And that's actually going to help Salameo out, who's on a different pit strategy than everybody. Salameo there. Rosselli having a fantastic run, though, in the Renault there. As we go back to live coverage here in a second here, as we go up here.
DJ Curtis was in the 8th.
And now you've got actually up to 7th now as he's gotten by Jesse Turner.
Jesse Turner, good.
Sean Arden, the Benetton?
Sean Arden, the Bennett. No, that's Nathan Ormond in 24th. No, that's not Sean Arden. That's
Ormond.
Ormond, a number of laps down. Art is in 11th, actually, behind Marriott. Where is our favorite car right now? Ivan Stark in 12th position. Go Minardi right here.
Just gotta hope for 2 more drivers to have issues so he can get up into those points. But even so, great run for the Minardi.
And we're not even halfway done, so that's very possible to see. Somebody,
a lot of unknown variables.
Yeah, that's very possible to see a Minardi possibly get up through this order here. Or possibly get that spot here. This is going to be huge for Minardi coming up soon. The little Italian team that's run by an Australian. Great day for a lot of Australians, except for Arrows. Actually, Arrows is the only one having a really bad day with Tolfe in 21st and Tanker running in 17th, which 17th, to be honest, is a lot higher than I thought the Arrows would be running for that matter, so...
Yeah, Arrow's having a dreadful weekend, to say the least, so it's pretty much a weekend they want to forget, so they're just trying to do the best they can so they can work on the next couple of rounds so that they can get better and compete with the midfield teams and even some of the other front-running teams in the future.
And especially with
held up by the Haas right now.
And especially with the high-speed Pukekohe Park circuit coming up in New Zealand next week. As you know, that track is incredibly fast. It's a short little track, but it's incredibly fast. And you know the Asia Techs with their power disadvantage. And since there's going to be less time for a difference between cars, considering the lap times are so short around there, it's very possible that you might see only 26 cars on the grid for that race because of the 105% rule. But with that being said, we're still seeing here Ivan Stark up to 11th now, as Darren Blake, I believe, is pitted from 2nd. So Ivan Stark just kicking everybody's rear end here on this track, having a very strong run here. Oh, Otts in the wall there. Not sure what happened with Otts, but...
Killed the suspension.
That is probably going to be a pit stop for Otts there. Let's go back and see how that happened for Frodemar Otts here. Just looks like he
I would say it's understeer, definitely.
Either that or just overdrove it. I think...
A little bit of both, overdrove it.
I'm guessing that's what happened. He overdrove it and experienced understeer doing it. But Frodemar Otts has to do a little bit of a better job keeping that car on the road. Halleck versus Curtis. That's for provisionally 4th right, or that's for 4th right now.
Yep.
Curtis on Halleck. Great move by DJ Curtis in the Ferrari. Curtis is actually one of the fastest cars on the track right now as Halleck is pitting.
Halleck in the pits.
I think that Ferrari looking better in a long run pace. Maybe Curtis conserving those tires as well. That might be kicking in.
And now...
At the top of the show, tire degradation is coming into play as we get to the later stages.
There's Sebastian Ebner holding up 2nd place Lucas Salameo. 3rd is now Rosselli with DJ Curtis setting very, very quick lap
Looking at a
times
podium.
now. I'm not counting Curtis out of this race as we're about to approach the halfway mark of this race. Curtis has had a fantastic showing today, clawing his way through the field here. This is what Ferrari needed to do in this race. Obviously, he's got a long way to do to catch O'Halleck in the pits now, again, still. Anderson coming in. Anderson, oh, he has front wing damage. What happened to Max Anderson?
We
Might
hit
have
the
tank
wall
slapped a
earlier.
wall.
We know he hit the wall earlier. Maybe it was from that incident. I think it was from that incident, actually. That early incident where he hit the wall and I believe the Blake car hit him.
Yep.
Yeah, Blake got around and he hit the wall on his own.
So Zachary Fitzwater being held up in traffic here, and Salameo is not. So watch, keep in mind Salameo's 2 seconds a lap faster than Fitzwater.
I think
There is
that
a,
lap traffic really playing a role here.
but there is a 25-second gap between Fitzwater and Salameo. So it's all going to come down to pit strategy here to see who.
And how much time you could lose in pit stops also, depending on the gap that Fitzwater has. He might have a stop ahead, or even
Darren
just...
Blake, gotta watch
little
Darren
bit
Blake
short.
too in 10.
Yeah, Darren
Sorry to
Blake
cut you
is
off there.
provisionally in second, but.
Look how many cars
Ooh.
are in the lead lap.
Oh, we got a spinner!
Ooh!
That is the Red Bull of Anderson there, I believe.
Oh, that's gonna clog up Fitzwater too. That's gonna be a huge deficit for
That
him.
is a big loss for Fitzwater there.
Where's Salameo? Where is
He's
he?
not gonna like that.
Salameo is right now trying to pass the lap car of Halleck there on the outside. That pit
Halleck's
road
not
exit
giving
is a
any room.
hard exit because you do.
Fitzwater hasn't pitted yet after a while, so, you know.
Keep in mind that pit exit has been a nightmare for some people today because of the curbing down there.
Look at that traffic, though.
Yeah, all behind Max Anderson there. And Fitzwater is just kind of holding station there. And you're got to start thinking about pit delta times now. Is this the time where you want to bring Fitzwater in order to make sure that he's not continuously held up in traffic like he is? Because he had a really bad lap there.
Gotta remember, Anderson's on cold tires. It's taking a while to get those warm. He could
Get
be
the temperature.
Yeah.
And Salameo has really closed up a big part of that gap there. Salameo is a couple corners away from him right there. And got to be real careful if you're somebody like Zachary Fitzwater in this situation because...
Ooh, look at the Renault, though.
Oh, we got a blower! That's Evan Byrne blowing up now.
Oh, tough break.
Such a good qualifying run for Byrne, and now he grenades it at the halfway mark of this race. And Tolfe...
Good area.
Not a good area in this.
Oh, crash!
Oh.
That is going to be a safety car!
That's a
Oh,
safety
Might.
car.
I thought it was going to kill the motor there, but he's trying to get going there.
Look at it.
Look at Salameo get by that situation there.
Threading the
What a
needle.
gutsy move by Salameo.
And that's not going to be a safety car. I thought we'd definitely get a safety car for that, but
Halleck getting held up.
The engine's somewhat durable, even though it's blown up.
he is still driving that thing. The Eddie Jordan team had such... Oh, another crash! That was
This
on
might be a bad
Ebner.
area.
This is
Nope.
a bad area. He is going to get going, though. That Jordan
Oh,
is...
might be
Oh,
unsafe.
indestructible! Oh, that is a safety car right there. That is definitely a safety car. Orman driving around on 3 wheels. That is a safety
That's
car right
terrible.
there. Let's take a look and see what
That's gonna be
happens.
That's unsafe merging, too. That was unsafe
That
entry.
was a bad situation here. Let's take a look at this here. Evan
We were all calling
Byrne.
on a safety car to happen. It was imminent, honestly, at the rate it was going. Just got clipped.
Yeah.
Clipped.
And-
And then he just puts his nose sticking out like there's no tomorrow, and then Orman's going to come in here with a
Just
blind
unsafe
spot.
re-entry, middle of the race.
Right there. That's going to be a number of penalty points there. And Nathan Orman has had
Orman
a
couldn't do
miserable
anything.
day.
Orman really couldn't do anything. That was just out of his control.
Yeah.
Hope that Burns okay
Let's go on
too in that
board
accident.
with
That took him
let's
a
go
while.
on board with Nathan Ormond here.
See if he even tried to hit the brakes, actually.
Actually, he has his helmet cam. We're going to see what happens here. What was this like for Nathan Ormond? This is the first safety car of the season. He did get on the brakes. He did get on the brakes, but not a whole lot Ormond could do in that
Also, that
situation.
fluid on the track, too, kicking in. You know, once you get on the brakes, you kind of slip and slide, and
Yeah.
well, that might have been also the...
So yeah, not a whole lot Nathan Ormond could do. We're going to take another look at it here. And, sorry, the clip kind of died there, but
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
What?
Just
that's
flipped
on
in
that's
oil,
on
too.
Burns.
Fluid.
What about Byrne? He didn't get the re-entry going, and the oil, like as DJ said, made the slip and slide. What the Orman could do. Hopefully, Byrne's okay from that accident. That was a hard hit.
Yep, so the safety car is out. That means everybody gets a free pit stop and gets their laps back. As part of Formula Omega rules, you get your laps back.
Crazy.
And it's going to be crazy again here. So let's take a look and see what happened. All right, so right now, since we're going to safety car here, since we're in safety car here, these cars that are out will not be counted anymore. So Ormond, Byrne, Myatt, Hashimoto, Behringer, Adventure, and Ace Vito are all out of the race. Ebner will get the 3 laps back that he had with Otts, Anderson, or no, I'm sorry, Ebner, Otts, and Anderson. Yeah, they'll get their laps back. I was right in the first place. Willington, Tolfe, Anderson, the other Anderson, Julius Anderson, Halleck, Casperson, Tanker, and Nanico, as per Formula Omega rules, will get a lap back. So that will be interesting there as well. I messed up again. It will be the cars with 1 lap down will get back a lead lap. Everybody else is out. So Willington, Anderson, and Ebner are all out of the race. They are basically, you get 1 lap back if there's a safety car. So that is Formula Omega rules. So Anderson, so there will be 20 cars left when we go back. 20 cars left when we go back green. With Willington being the last car, but the cars 1 lap down all get a lap back. So that's going to be good for somebody like Nanico and Tanker and Casperson, etc., because they essentially get a free pit stop there up the order here. It's going to be interesting because it's going to be a rolling restart. So tough break, though, for Anderson, for Max Anderson in the Red Bull, a big name driver out. Frodemar, Otts, and Ebner being out as well. So the Minardi team is doing really well, though, as they will have Ivan Stark starting 9th, though. So that'll be important to see as well. We'll get back to you on the restart of the race. Welcome back, everybody. They have just briefly stopped for a second here. So we're going to see how a safety car restart's going to go here. So the top 20 are back in this race here. So you've got a very interesting order because it happened during the pit stop cycle here. Everybody got a free stop out of it, so everyone's back on the same strategy here. Someone like Ivan Stark's in 9th because of it here. So you're going to see the whole field spread out here. This is an intended thing. They wanted the field rows to be spread out. So what do you think's going to happen on this restart, everybody?
Fitzwater's got to take off like a rocket ship, otherwise Salameo. And the surprise in the race, Rosselli or DJ Curtis with that straight line Ferrari speed, it could be definitely in play.
Yeah, DJ Curtis was a real big beneficiary from that. Here we go. Green flag is out, and a great start there by Fitzwater. Up the order, DJ Curtis is going to take over 3rd away from Rosselli there. And Fitzwater goes back into the lead of this race here, rocketing through the S-Bend complex here. Good start so far by everybody. Freeze really lost a spot. I think it's okay on the start there as Salameo now is in 2nd position as DJ Curtis is now in 3rd, with Rosselli down to 4th, Ozkin to 5th, and Turner to 6th. So this race is going to be heating up once again here as Fitzwater leads this race. With
a lot of big teams just so close together with a Mercedes, Ferrari, and a Williams up there.
Sean Ard, where did he restart?
9th.
He's up to 8th, right? No, he did not start 9th because I know Stark did.
8th, he started 8th. Yeah.
Okay, so he's still in 8th.
Same spot.
Stark then lost a position on that start, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure we all wanted Stark to hold the spot as much as we can at the front of the field. This was not probably a great move for Stark because Stark was probably going to be in the points based on if the race had stayed green. I'm not sure if in the current frame of a restart it's going to be the best thing for him. But a sitting duck kind of thing is you've got drivers like Vince Freeze behind him, who Freeze had just made a pit stop. You've also got Casey Nanico back there, who was a big beneficiary from that safety car. Remember, she was leading the race earlier in that race.
It's Mikkel and Nanico going at it.
Evan Byrne was treated and released from the care center here, but there will be a steward's inquiry into that.
Yeah, from FIA.
That's going to be an FIA stewards inquiry there, as Salameo now is starting to actually reel in a little bit on, it looks like, on Fitzwater in the lead, as this is going to be a big race here. Fitzwater didn't want to see that because he had a 25-second lead over the field, so Fitzwater definitely did not want to see a safety car as the field kind of goes around this 1.8-mile street circuit here. Ozkin closing in now on Rosselli. Got to give a toss out there to Jesse Turner as well. It's a double
Renault
points
overall.
day for Renault. What do you got to say about Renault? I thought we were pretty certain that they would be a Q1 elimination, I thought. And now they're racing both in the points.
Yeah, I think it's a great move by the strategist. I think playing the long game, especially with the high rate of safety cars in this track, staying out, getting those fresh tires, got a shot. Got to give props to the strategist and team owner Cody Lamas at the top.
Good move by Casey Nanico to hold off Pat Mikola. Mikola was going to try and make a move there on Nanico because Freeze is kind of holding up Nanico here. Honestly, Ivan Stark is faster than Vince Freeze right now. Ivan Stark's doing 111s in a Minardi.
I would have to say you have to remember that Stark has a very clean racetrack, and Freeze had to manipulate his way around the traffic in front of him. So once he gets in a clean lap, might see what that Williams could clock in.
I don't know.
Oh,
Here
oh,
comes
oh, make a
Nanico. Making a
Good
move
run.
on the inside of...
Easy pass.
Easy
Nanico right
move
around the
by
outside.
Nanico there.
I think the Jaguar got
Mikola
around
as
too.
well. Is
Freeze
there
got a
something
problem.
wrong with Freeze?
Got a problem. Might be a tire going down after going off the road.
Hit the
Oh,
wall
he got a
there. There's something wrong with Vince Freeze's car here. Oh boy. And that can't be good for the race leader, his teammate, Zachary
I think there
Fitzwater
might
here.
be something from the pit, because they might have messed up on the tire or something, so he might
Yeah,
have
he's
loose-
coming in. He's big coming in here. Hit the wall coming in. But Vince Freeze has got a pit here. As now, that's kind of why I think Stark was doing so well. 110s now for Stark. Stark has now set a faster lap time than Jack Marriott, Jesse Turner. He has set a nearly identical time to Ozkin there. So that just says how quick Stark is fighting that little Minardi around this track. I think that's going to be... I mean, granted, we all know Ozkin wins driver of the day anyway, normally, but
Oh,
despite
whoopsie.
whatever happens, but Stark now... I mean, what do you got to say about Stark in this situation?
Stark and Art, I think. It was Art started 28th. He was back there, too. Those guys have definitely been the movers of the race, for sure.
Definitely deserves a lot more credit. I think fans are definitely seeing what these drivers have in store, especially when they have to overcome atrocities and really just all the hindrances in this race.
And going back to what DJ said, minding their P's and Q's at the top of this show.
Oh!
Huge, they did that.
Somebody pitted. Salameo must have had a problem because Salameo's down to 5th. We're going to take a look and
Yeah,
see
but
what
take a
happened
look
to
at
him
that.
Right
here.
corner, maybe.
Did he
The
go
wall.
wide somewhere? Oh, yeah, he spun
Oh.
coming out of the corner here.
Just clip the rear end.
Clipped the rear end on that wall
Good
there.
avoidance by DJ. They're good avoidance by DJ. And
Good avoidance by Rosselli there. Sam at Ozkin. And Jesse Turner didn't get to him there, but that's going to put DJ Curtis, who had a really miserable weekend so far,
First
in
half.
second position now in this race. So the Ferrari team might pull an upset of the race here by winning this thing if he's lucky. We're going back to live coverage here. Is he closing it? No, Fitzwater just set the fastest lap time of this session of the race.
Fitzwater and clean air. It's helping.
He's going to have lap traffic coming up, but it's his teammate of Freeze.
teammate.
So I'm guessing Williams will be all over the radio telling Cody Lamas to get out of the... Or, not Cody Lamas. Telling Vince Freeze to get out of the way when Fitzwater comes near him. But, that was a quick lap time there by Curtis, though. Rosselli in third, with Ozkin fourth and Salameo fifth. Salameo's got to be kicking himself for that move there. As we go through the order here. And now you got Nanico all over the back of Ivan Stark. So, and actually right now Nanico's the fastest car on the track, so... Oh, is the dream over for Ivan Stark, you think? The
Yeah, I think
points
Nanico's
dream
too
over for
fast.
him?
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see, really.
I mean, it's been a thoroughly awesome run in the points for Ivan Stark.
A lot of coverage, to say the least.
And, oh man, look how much more power that McLaren's got compared to that lowly Minardi Asia Tech engine. And, oh man, just, you gotta give props to Ivan Stark, though, wrestling that car around here. Also, like you mentioned, Sean Art up from 28th up to 8th now on a track that isn't easy to pass on, but luckily, with the way the race has gone, it's been a very chaotic race, to say the least, in the middle part where the pit strategies were all over the place, and now pit strategies are kind of back on the same page because of that safety car, and everyone gets a free stop. So now Ozkin is all over the back of Rosselli here. What do we know about Samit Ozkin, other than the fact that he's by far the most popular driver on the grid?
Not really much, I would say. Just a very quiet effort. Sam and Ozkin very quiet on the radio. Obviously, listening in whenever they have to box in, but great run for the Red Bull.
Got to understand too, Anderson, with him out of the race. I think he definitely has some trends off of that. Could be a good down the stretch run as we get to the flatter stages.
All right, we are going to be taking a commercial break here, and we'll be back with more of the Australian Grand Prix for Formula Omega. Welcome back to the Australian Grand Prix here at Surfers Paradise here. Zachary Fitzwater continues to lead over DJ Curtis and is actually starting to pull a little bit away, even though actually Curtis was faster the last time by. Oops. We'll see what happened. Oh, Tolfe's in the pits. 111 compared to a 110, so right now, whoopsie. So right now, Zachary Fitzwater actually is pulling on DJ Curtis, as Rosselli is still in third, fighting with Ozkin here. So who right now? Stark is still holding off. I was going to mention something else, but Stark is still holding off that McLaren for the last, like, 10 laps. Stark has held off the McLaren.
Train right in front of him.
Turner's getting caught by Art, too.
So this is a fantastic showing, I think, for Ivan Stark, honestly.
Mid-pack looking very entertaining right now.
So yeah, this is just fantastic racing, I think. Oh, Tanker is slow through that corner with a massive train behind him with Anderson, the Haas of Halleck. Halleck was in the points for a while there, but then kind of lost it on pit strategy there. So, at the front of this field, oh, was I seeing Curtis? No, Curtis I thought was making a move in, but isn't. Rosselli is still in third. And so, what do you think the pit strategy is the rest of the way? I think they can make it on one, honestly. If they play their cards right, they'll make it on one. What do you guys think?
It's a stretch, I'm not going to lie. But if they can continue to save fuel in the draft a little bit, and you don't burn the tires, you don't go overboard, I think it might be more of a tire game. But I think one strategy, one-stop strategy, everybody except for Vince Freeze and Tolfe, I think, can make it on one.
Yeah, I definitely think it's, at this rate it's going, if they can stretch it to at least past lap number 18, or at least past lap 17, I think it'll be a one-stopper. If not, they might have to risk going for two, but I think a lot of drivers are worried about gas. More, I would say, tires, actually, but tires are still obviously a big factor. But right now, Fitzwater holding a demanding lead here in Australia.
And now you've got Ozkin trying to make a move on Rosselli here. Ozkin's really closed the gap the last couple of laps here on Rosselli. Even though Rosselli was faster the last time around, Ozkin is doing a pretty good job trying to get up the order with that extra chassis grip that he's got compared to the Renault. So what do you think this is just pure driving ability by Rosselli right now? The fact that he's up this high in a car that seemingly, well, his teammates up the order too, but
It's an inferior car compared to the Red Bull.
yeah, exactly. So, oh, we got a car in, that's Willington in. And is that with damage on the side of it? Looks like maybe damage in that car.
That's going to be close on one stop.
No, I don't
We'll
know if that
Just
was
the way
damage.
the
I just
Force
think it
India's
was the way it
designed.
looked. But they did
Yeah, it looks
spend
like
a
it's
lot of
caved in
time
like
under the
now.
right side, so there might have been some suspension work being done there. As Rosselli now has kind of lost touch with the two leaders, so it's going to be a Curtis versus Fitzwater race,
Curtis
I
ran a
think.
little bit faster, a couple tenths faster, it looked like.
Yeah, Curtis is trying to close in. We're going to go on board the helmet cam of DJ Curtis here. And here we go around this track. So where do you think the main areas that Fitzwater... okay, we've seen a lot of Fitzwater in this race. Where do you think his struggles are right now with that Williams, which is basically a pretty well-rounded car? And we know the Ferraris are going to be on the straights, but where do you think Fitzwater has to be the most concerned right now?
I'm going to say the second S-bend. I think that's really the only area I see Fitzwater go just a little bit wide off the line. And I think we just got to that section. I think that's the only section you can see, actually, yeah, DJ's gaining him on the second S-bend.
That's the first S-bend right there, so we're going to the second one next time.
Yeah, the second one, maybe the bend. It might just be the bend because we know how trimmed out the Williams can be. And DJ, here he comes in the second. Let's see how these guys get through.
And definitely, it does look like Curtis was quicker through that S-bend complex there.
Yeah, Curtis is quicker. I think Curtis he has the advantage on the. He's.
It looks like the Ferrari's really good on the brakes too. Have you noticed that over there, DJ?
Yeah, a little bit later on the brakes can be a bit more confident compared to the Williams. The Williams is still a very good car, but I think also straight line speed also helps a little bit. Not many straightaways in the track, long ones that is, but even so, every little ounce helps.
Now is Fitzwater getting some aero push from the car?
Got a good exit there.
Good exit by Fitzwater there. Fitzwater is catching his... Oh, we got a car blowing up here.
Oh,
that's hard. Oh, no.
That's horrible. Horrible break.
He's holding up somebody, too.
That was, I believe, Bouchard, or is that Halleck, the other Australian there?
Halleck.
Oh, Halleck is out, it looks like. Was there an incident on track?
What happened? Halleck's out.
Were they both blowing up?
Did they both get involved in a wreck? Maybe we didn't see.
I think Halleck had mechanical issues. It's just like a simultaneous mechanical issue for both of them. One engine blew.
Crash!
Oh, yep.
There was an incident on track here. This is with Ard blowing up.
I think that's what the Asia Tech, the Minardi.
It was Willington hit him. That's where the accident was that we kind of saw, I'm guessing. With the damage on Willington.
I think both the Benetton and the Haas had mechanical issues. One with the engine, as you see the smoke, obviously.
I think the Haas does have smoke blowing out of it, too. Now that I'm seeing it.
I think he's just kind of behind the oil.
Oh, maybe it is. But I know
the hydraulic issue or something with
keep in mind, Willington did not hit the Benetton. They hit the
Haas.
The Haas. So I'm guessing that's why Halleck went out of his home race right there. But you know who this does help, right? Everyone's favorite backmarker right now, Mr. Ivan Stark in 8th position.
Out right in front of him with the Renault.
Is that Blake and Turner getting it? Oh, almost in the wall.
Stark almost went off, yeah. Turner Blake just got by Blake there.
Got a problem. Turner might be coming into the pits. He's
looking really slow.
Oh, yeah.
Might be the same as Freeze, maybe.
Maybe a puncture, maybe oil. Oh, he's coming
Might be a puncture.
Freeze is coming in.
Tires are killed.
Also, Tolfe in the pits.
Pit window. Where's that pit window after all, though?
Tolfe in the pits.
Second time, he was just in.
Oh, that is going to be a safety car. Safety car is out.
Oh my.
Who was that hit him? Fitzwater. That was Fitzwater. Oh no! That is a safety car right there. Oh no! That's not good at all.
What looked to be a dream, Fitzwater, might come to ashes tonight with that incident.
That's all Tolfe hit the wall.
Well, Tolfe hit the wall, and then the two wheels made contact there.
That's a hard.
We're gonna go on board with DJ Curtis here, and that means there's gonna be no green. There's just gonna be a dash for cash at the end here. And Fitzwater's car did get going again here, but
what an avoidance by DJ.
What a wreck.
But DJ Curtis now takes over the lead of the race here. And is that going to put Rosselli in second?
Matter is if Fitzwater's car can keep on going.
Fitzwater's second, but we'll see.
So that's going to be a number of cars out of the race, as we're going to go into safety car number 2 here. Safety car number 2 is out. We're going to take an onboard view from Zachary Fitzwater now. And Fitzwater...
Cam might do some justice on it.
I think Fitzwater has some suspension damage.
Fitzwater didn't pit that time, but here we go. This is on board with Fitzy.
So they think that's what they're going to try and do and keep it out.
Oh, yep.
The wall. Yep, just wrong.
He has some big right side suspension and left side damage there.
It's hard to get off too, especially with the wheels touching like that. It's hard to really latch off of each other. They're like magnets.
With that being said, we will be going to commercial break, and we will bring you the hopefully last restart here. All right, so We're under the safety car here as they're working on Fitzwater's car. Fitzwater will be tabulated 4th when they go back green. So it's DJ Curtis. Saravino Rosselli is up to 2nd. Samet Ozkin in 3rd. Fitzwater 4th. Darren Blake 5th. 6th for Casey Nanico. 7th for Ivan Stark. 8th for Pat Mikkola. 9th for Bouchard. 10th for Casperson. 11th for Tanker. 12th for Freeze. Julius Anderson 13th, Turner 14th, Marriott 15th, Salameo 16th, and Willington 17th. They will all get their laps back, those ones will. And that means there's no more for Ard, Halleck, and Tolfe are all going to be out of the race coming up here. So, DJ,
Yes.
we're real close to an Arrows and a Minardi scoring points here at Surfers Paradise. Who honestly is surprising you right now, considering we only have, I think, we'll only have like 10 to go when we go back green?
We've talked about Stark so much in the Minardi, but we do need, they're just as underwhelming usually in terms of performance as it is the Minardi, and just great stuff from both of them overall. Both are big surprising names that you wouldn't expect to be in the points, but with opportunities like this, they have to take it. Golden opportunity for them to get some good points and some exposure for them in case they want some better rides for the upcoming season, really next year.
Do you think Fitzwater can get back to the lead?
It's possible. Now they've repaired damage, so it might maybe relegate them a little bit back, but looking at it, as you mentioned, but them being in 4th, they still have a good shot. It might save Vince Freeze a little bit, but maybe not enough to get some points, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right, we will be back after the commercial break. So, welcome back here. We've got a 10-lap dash here with DJ Curtis. I keep forgetting the first name of him. Rosselli in 2nd. Samet Ozkin in 3rd with Zachary Fitzwater in 4th. Can Fitzwater get back up the order here to take his home victory here after that little incident there with Tolfe? Tolfe's under investigation for not heeding blue flags. So, I'm guessing Tolfe might be getting a steward's inquiry by the FIA afterwards, but here we go. We're a 10-lap dash here at Surfers Paradise. Here, safety car is in. And we are going green here any second now. Green flag is out. Here we go. Curtis with a great start. Rosselli did not go there. Also,
I'm sleeping.
Fitzwater didn't really go there either. Ozkin up to 3rd, although Fitzwater's fighting back down there. Fitzwater is going to fall to 4th, though. Maybe 5th, actually, now that Nanico's there. And now Nanico is up to 4. Maybe up to 4th if he can get the power down. BMW versus Mercedes power. German v. German. Still no. Oh, but this is going to be crazy down here in this cornering complex. Who's going to back out? Who's not? It looks like it's... Contact! Contact there! And Fitzwater, I think so. Fitzwater gets into the wall a little bit down there, but luckily keeps going. Fitzwater is a man on a mission here as Rosselli is catching Curtis! Meanwhile, in the back, you've got Willington Salameo, who got messed over by that poor safety car there. He was 2nd for a while there. And Tanker lost a spot to Freeze. Freeze is trying to get back into the points here. For a while there, we were looking that we might actually see a... Oh, wow, yeah, Jaguar in 8th. We didn't even think about that. Pat Mikkola in 8th. That's going to be a good run for him. For a second, we're thinking we'd get an Arrows and a Minardi getting points this weekend. And now, you've got Ivan Stark still in 7th with Darren Blake trying to chase down Nanico here. Curtis is taken off, though. Curtis is gone.
Oscar's going to try and reel in the Renault.
If Oscar can get by the Renault really quick, he's got a shot at Curtis.
Yeah, I think...
Yeah, Rosselli's all over the place.
It's got to get that toe, really. That Red Bull's got to get that toe.
I think it's a battle for 2nd now, really. I don't think anybody's going to catch Curtis unless if Curtis makes a mistake. He was wide through that corner there.
Oh, here comes Rosselli.
He was wide, but Rosselli's over 4/10 slower than him a lap. We're on board with Rosselli here. This has been an awesome race for Renault. Even though Turner kind of got that pit stop or the he pitted right before the safety car, and that kind of put Turner in the back. It's been a great day for Renault. We did not expect Renault to be this high up the grid, and they've thoroughly performed well here. Anybody got anything to say about Rosselli right here?
No, definitely showing himself as a true contender for the Renault team. Definitely there's no 1 or 2 drivers established yet, but this is a good case. And you also got to remember, he minded his P's and Q's, played the strategy game. Got to give a call to the strategist at the top of the pits.
Jack Marriott also had to pit, too, keep in mind. He pitted early, and now it's down to 14th. So, Marriott's outside of the points, and he was the main championship contender. He's a big championship contender out right now.
Both McLarens looked really good in the race, and it all fell apart for them. Really, a lot of big teams looked so great in that first half, but just nothing really going their way. But as of right now, the lone Ferrari of Curtis, good gap over Raikkonen.
And this is the best thing.
Raikkonen, really.
This is the best thing that team principal Noah Hart could have ever wanted with his Ferrari team, with Ace Vito falling out, is having Curtis claw his way through the field and do the best here. Only 6 to go in this race, and this is what they wanted to see, obviously, and he is pulling away. DJ Curtis is here in Surfer's Paradise. Oskins trying to close in third. Fitzwater dominated this race, and it just shows that one incident can just cost you, you know?
Now they're starting to form up behind Rosselli.
Yeah, Rosselli is kind of a train here, kind of forming a freight train here. This is just kind of the nature of the beast right now. And there's Ivan Stark also. With Pat Mikola, again, that's a driver who's had a very understated weekend. Here, Pat Mikola got really lucky with safety cars and now is in 8th position. I mean, if anybody would have thought Pat Mikola and the Jaguar team would be getting points in the first race, that's another team that nobody would have thought either.
Sauber's closing in, though.
Yeah, that's Sauber of, I think that's Casperson, yeah.
Really
Oh, yes, definitely
Oh!
coming in. Mikola wrecks it, and that's going to put Mikola out of the points, so I spoke a little too soon there. And Mikola in the wall again. Oh, Mikola's slowly falling down the order there.
Lost the handling, so much damage to that right side, too.
That's going to be Mikola. Is Mikola going to have to pit, I wonder? He's just going to stay out and just try and bring it home. It looks like it's going to be that. But he is out of the points now because I believe that puts Freeze up to 10th. And Mikola down to 11th. And now you've got Anderson going for a move on Tanker in the lone Toyota left. It's been a thoroughly kind of chaotic race, hasn't it been?
It really has, with all the the 2 safety cars both being flips, miraculous wrecks that really have changed the complexion of this race.
Oh, we got a move. Oskin trying to make. Yeah, I was just gonna say that too. There, Oskin's making a move.
Rosselli a little wide. Here comes Oskin.
Just overall, it's been a really crazy race, I think, here. We do have to say that Tolfe did walk away from his car in that incident, so David Tolfe is all right, luckily for him. But like I said, there will be a steward's inquiry into him, like Evan Byrne. We'll have one, and we'll give you updates on that at a later time, what the penalties might be. Probably they'll be announced on Tuesday after this race is run. But overall, I don't think anybody's going to be catching DJ Curtis. Although Curtis seems to be slowing down a little bit. Little by little.
Now, we're wondering in the booth, is the draft coming to play, or did Curtis mess up?
Fastest car right now is Samet Oskin right now, the Swedish driver. And this is just very... Oh, wow, there's a car sliding around all over the place back there. That's Nanico. And there's a big gap between between Blake and Stark, with Casperson there as well. And Mikola is trying to get back into this
pulled a
pack.
gap from the arrows, actually. The Jaguar did.
Well, I think that kind of just shows the speed of the arrows. I can't believe Jack Marriott, the pole sitter, can't get through this field. Honestly.
Such a narrow track.
Oh, we got a crash! That is the Tanker car, and...
Get back on the wheels and get back on this.
Yes, he did get back on the wheels. Oh, that was so close to a safety car there. And that would have probably been the end of the race there, as they have just hit 4 to go. That would have been darn close to just ending it right there. But Tanker, I don't know how that car's still running, but We're gonna go back and take a
Boy,
look at
that's
that.
I think he ran wide.
He ran. No, he actually cut in. He had a car going on his
I think
outside.
he arced into the corner, hit that wall, and then just lost it. Toyota hit the wall too, actually, looked like.
And
Anderson hit the wall, yeah.
Marriott had a big piece of that. That's actually going to slow up Turner, and that's basically going to solidify
Traffic jam.
the top 10's basically who it's going to be, unless if there's an incident. So now, the front of the field. What can't be said about DJ Curtis's race here? Seriously, Vince, you got anything on DJ Curtis right now about how he's made this recovery drive the way he has?
Defending champ, used the veteran experience, stay out of trouble, P's and Q's. Got to give a call. I know Ferrari's been critical with their strategy, but they played the strategy right today, making a very characteristic move. Also got to give credit to DJ. His presence and his veteran leadership is definitely showing why this team's a contender, especially when we go to round 2.
And now, you've got DJ Curtis now with only 3 to go here, just firing his way around this track. Rosselli, obviously, I don't think Rosselli's got the car to catch him, but I think big props to Serafino Rosselli here, because nobody would have expected Rosselli to get second in a Renault, or at least be fighting for or getting a podium, possibly, in a Renault in race 1. I don't think anybody would have thought that.
No, he's definitely outperformed car. I think Renault, especially after the qualifying, we thought they would be able to down the order to get a top.
Oh, that's Fitzwater! Oh, we got a car off in the back as well! That's Nanico off! And that is going to be a virtual safety car.
It's off the surface.
It's off the track, and they're going to clean up the track here. But Fitzwater in his home race
Just threw it away.
just threw it away. Just threw it away right there. And Nanico in the back as well. We're going to go
Under
on
pressure
board
from the
here.
Sauber.
The Sauber got to him there and just way overcooked it there.
Got too late in the brakes and just lost it.
And
I think the
Nanico
McLaren-
here. We're going to take a look and see what happened with Nanico there. Made a little bit of contact there with the Minardi there of
I
Stark.
think the
We're on board here, and you're just going to
into
see...
the wreck.
Yeah, just kind of the same thing. Nanico just went in way too deep.
Then makes contact with Fitzy a little
Yeah.
bit. And then, yep, came out. Almost
Little bit
unsafe
spooked.
entry. Yeah.
And actually,
Tough break.
this might be a top 5 for a Minardi.
That's going to put Pat Mickle in the points.
Oh, you're
We've
right.
got
yeah.
2 to go. DJ Curtis. And right now, we've got Ivan Stark in 5th position in a Minardi. I mean, I know we've been keep going back to... Oh, we got another car off! That's Nanico
Here we go
again!
again. Front wing's destroyed.
That
That's
had to be a
Nanico.
failure of some type. Let's take
I
a
think
look.
That damage that kicked in, and then it just, from there, just the car's probably unstable.
No chance of making...
That was a terrible.
He was way too hot in there in the first place.
I think it's the damage that really became the correlation with that mistake.
no downforce. He's
Virtual
pretty much-
safety car again.
Just lose the handling.
They put Pat Mickle and someone else in the race now.
DJ Curtis is on the final lap of the race, though. I mean, he's driven a very quiet race. Very understated race here. And DJ Curtis is going to come through a couple last corners here. And he's going to win. The reigning champion's
Just gotta
going to
take it
win
easy.
the first race of the season here. Just got to bring her home. This is a very good run by DJ Curtis, starting 13th on the grid. That's a pretty far way down the order here. I remember, DJ, you said at the start of the weekend it was going to be someone in the top 6, but it clearly wasn't. DJ Curtis comes off the final corner. He will win the Australian Grand Prix here at Surfers
the
Paradise. That's Servino Rosselli
What's that?
2nd, Ozkin 3rd, Darren Blake 4th. 5th place. This is going to be like a win for Minardi.
Look at that team go.
5th place for Ivan Stark in the Minardi. Please, in the comment section, vote
Might
for
be
your
a
driver of the day.
Right there, could be.
Casperson 6th.
Good run for Saubers, actually. Both Saubers.
Vince Freeze 7th. 8th for Daniel Bouchard. 9th for Marriott. Marriott actually got points for McLaren. 10th for Anderson.
Points.
And outside of the points, you got Salameo just kind of bombed his entire last run there with Jesse Turner. Mikkola did not get points. Willington didn't get points. And up here comes Nanico here. There is something major wrong with that car, but he's going to go out and complete the lap, I think, to try and bring her home.
Both cars got points.
So, I think the story of the day has been a battle of the small teams, really. The small teams got all the points today. If you think about it, I mean, McLaren, his best car was 9th. Williams' best car was 7th. Mercedes didn't get a car in the points.
And they look good, too.
And they were fast. And, yeah, just overall not a good day for some of the points leaders there. But overall, Surfers Paradise was a chaotic and crazy race for everybody there. And with that being said, DJ Curtis is going to bring her in, and we will hear the anthems we will hear the United States anthem for DJ Curtis and the Italian national anthem for Ferrari coming up here. And I believe Servino Rosselli, the Renault crew's cheering like they won the race because they got a podium.
Cody Lamas is coming up.
Cody Lamas. And, the Minardi. Good day for people with the Italian national anthem, because Minardi gets a 5th, Rosselli's Italian, and DJ Curtis drives for an Italian team. So, you got to be honest, that was a good situation for the Italian-based, or anything basically Italian around here. Thoroughly outperformed here, and I guess one of the big post-race questions will be, coming up here when in a little bit of the post-race thing that we'll cover here. And with that, the post-race celebration is over, and now it is time for us to kind of wrap up what we're doing. So, right now we've got DJ Curtis on winning the race. Not a big surprise if you think about it. I mean, if you would have come into this weekend and I would have said that DJ Curtis won, I think some of us would have been like, yeah, it might not be their best track, but it's possible. And that's what happened. Rosselli second, though. I think right there we blew that right out of the weeds with that idea, right?
Yep.
Rosselli getting second. Also, congratulations on Sauber for getting second in Constructors' Championship. We're actually going to go over to the Constructors' points just for right now. Obviously, we know what the points are like, but we're going to kind of show you both the results and the constructors at the same time here. So you can see the right side here is the official results, and that's going to be your driver's standings down to 10th. Not much is going to change there, so we'll worry about that more next weekend. But Sauber second, the only team to get 2 cars in the points. So, do you think Sauber had the most impressive weekend then, overall?
Yeah, I have to say, other than the race winners and maybe Renault, Sauber definitely ones that showed the most pace. They mind their P's and Q's, and they got.
I would even say that Sauber had a better weekend than Ferrari, even though Ferrari won the race, but you had Ace
Both
Vito
cars got
finish
points.
last. So
Both the Saubers got really good points, 4th and 6th. And remember, Darren Blake just short of a podium.
yeah, I mean, if one of those drivers would have screwed up there at the end, Darren Blake would have been on the podium in a Sauber. Renault, great, and you got to give props to Minardi. Obviously, they're fighting with arrows for typically that last spot, typically, and they're in 5th in constructors. I mean, that probably, it wouldn't surprise me if that's what they end their season on, is that, honestly, is 10 points. Because last year, both Arrows and Minardi didn't score anything. So, getting 10 points right off the bat, I mean,
Huge.
what's that going to do for, like, the funding of the team going forward? Because, as you know, the way that the finances are reallocated and then upgrades are done, I mean, what is that going to mean in that battle for that lowest team position with Arrows? I mean, could Minardi be finally coming off that bottom rung and going to fight in the midfield now?
Possibility, right? They have upgrades planned, and they have more resources to be distributed. I think this could be a big one. We get on a wild card race like today, anything's possible for sure.
Well, we do know that the next race is in New Zealand, which is the complete opposite of this track. It's about the same length, actually, but it's very fast. And we know darn well in preseason testing that the Agitek engined cars, being the Minardi and the Arrows, didn't do much there, and they were very slow in a straight line. So I'm guessing that might be a problem going forward here. Williams, you had the race locked up, right? Williams had it. They had the best combo for a while there, and Fitzwater threw it away. I mean, DJ, you're pretty close with the Williams team ownership. What would you be thinking right now if you were them?
I would be thinking, well, the results don't really showcase the amount of speed they had. Just come some unlucky breaks for both really the Williams drivers itself. For Vince Freeze, some issues near the last part of the race that cost him some good spots. He still got some points, but Fitzwater definitely had the dominant car, especially after the really the attrition kicking in. Fitzwater really just picking up the pieces from Mercedes and McLaren's like messiness overall, and just really bad set of circumstances for the Williams team, but definitely showcasing the potential they have later on in the season.
Other than maybe the Minardi getting 5th in constructors so far, are there any big surprises so far? I've got a couple that I see as a big surprise. What is your biggest surprise out of that Constructors' Championship, Vince?
It has to be, to me, other than the Renault. You got to look at Haas. I mean, those guys, you know, we didn't have any major expectations. And Daniel Bouchard, I know we didn't mention him, he had a quiet run. I think that's very important, that those quiet runs at the start of the season, especially with upgrade season coming around the corner, that could be big. As you said, the Minardi. Sauber we talked about. How about Red Bull, too? I know Oscar is definitely one of the most popular guys, and he walked the walk and talked the talk today, so definitely got to give credit to Oscar, too.
DJ, you got a big surprise just on that point standings right now for constructors?
Besides the notables we've talked about, like Sauber and Minardi, how about Toyota? I know it's only 1 point, but 1 point is huge.
Toyota's in their first race ever in Formula Omega, and them getting a point in that first race is very impressive for them. With a prototype car.
Yes, indeed. And very much a shocker, you know. We expect Mercedes to get some good points.
That's where I was going with. I'm surprised Mercedes and Jordan didn't get points, because Jordan was fast this weekend, and obviously we know Byrne went cartwheeling. Mercedes were the fastest cars of the weekend. Basically, they kind of got a little bit slower in Q3, but they were the fastest 2 cars all weekend. They don't get points. Jordan, like I said, Evan Byrne qualified 6th. And I mean, Kenny Myatt had a miserable day too. He blew up right before the whole burn incident did, right then, and yeah, that was just it for him, really. Arrows nearly got a point. If it actually weren't have been for was that Toll? No, that was Tanker. Tanker getting up on his side.
Mm-hmm.
He would have gotten a point for
Yeah, they were
Arrows.
looking pretty good with that. Besides
Because
the
Fitzwater would have fallen out and Nanico would have fallen out. So that would have bumped him from 12th to 10th. So Tanker would have gotten a point there.
Yes, indeed.
It's just another example of what coulda, shoulda happened, but it was a little bit of a move there that Tanker was probably kicking himself for, because that would have been a point for Alex Tanker. And we know, like I said, Arrows is another team struggling for funding like Minardi, and you can see that this race was a very good race for some teams that we didn't really expect. Now, granted, I mean, heck, Jaguar at the end of the race with
Pat Mikola.
with Pat Mikola nearly got points too. And I think, okay, who was your reject of the race? It could be driver or team.
I think what DJ just said. I think just Mercedes. I mean, you think of the Mercedes brand and what they stand for, reliability. But Hashimoto, if you think about the race, he made some uncharacteristic mistakes out of pit road, hit the wall. Just an overall day for non-Mercedes type day. Their brand was definitely takes a step back, and they have to rethink. But I expect them to rebound. Another reject of the day. It's not really a reject. He did a great job with Sean R. Unfortunately, the engine let go. He really didn't deserve that. Same with Howard. Those guys. It's just sad because they had that hometown crowd with Halleck and Fitzwater. The hometown crowd not really like what happened there. But Mercedes is probably the biggest one that stands out.
DJ, who was your reject of the day?
In terms of teams or drivers,
anything.
Teams, I mean, in terms of the driver, Acevedo was very disappointing. You would think the other Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know, you compare that to Curtis. Curtis won the race, but Acevedo dropped out
Dead
early.
last.
Yep. Also, I would say McLaren, in terms of teams, McLaren.
Yeah, they started on the front row, and only one car gets points and only gets 8th.
Pretty much. Nanico made so many mistakes on the last half, and that's really what screwed that team over quite a lot. They looked so good, like you mentioned at the beginning, but just things didn't go in the right direction for them.
I think reject driver for me has got to be Evan Byrne. That was a stupid move on his part, coming off like that, causing the first safety car like that.
You could argue that with the other Arrow driver.
Arrows. I think the Tolfe incident was a little bit more racing deal than that. He hit the wall and Fitzwater was kind of there. I know the stewards are looking at it, but I think that was more racing deal. Evan Byrne just came right in front of traffic. In terms of teams, I'm going to go different here. Force India. Force India was awful today. Absolutely awful. They didn't do anything right. So
yeah, the owners got it.
I will also probably say Jordan too. Jordan kind of kicked the bucket too in that race, and Jordan had a car that could do anything, but overall across the board, Force India kind of bombed. We only have a couple of more seconds left here, so any final thoughts from either of you guys? We got 45 seconds total.
Yeah, just real quick. Shout out to, of course, congrats to DJ Curtis first and foremost, but shout out to, like I said, people like Toyota, people like Minardi for fighting those underage stories we don't get to see every day and each weekend. It's good to see a little change of pace. Let's look forward to seeing their competition in the future.
DJ, anything quick? We got under 30.
Yep, it was just a fantastic race, especially for the small teams here. A lot of races left. Looking forward to see how the rest of the season pans out.
We will see you next week in New Zealand at Pukekohe Park for the New Zealand round here, and I will promise I will learn how to pronounce that name. We'll see you then.